guys, UnoPro back again with another S-rank gameplay. Today we are going to be doing Spellhai, and I've been doing a lot of Spellhai lately, but this is post-patch and it is the list. I really like post-patch so far. I've mainly been scrimming with it against some pretty good players, been doing really well, and then also a few games on ladder, which I think I went to 3-0 or 4-0, something like that. So not tons of experience with the deck, probably about 20 odd games combined if you include scrims. So I'm pretty happy with the deck, definitely still needs tweaking. I've even, just before I've recorded the video, I've made a slight change. It's all it's in a theory crafting stage still, but it's been having success and I think it can be fine tuned and become a pretty powerful deck. So the main inclusion of this deck with the new patch was not the new Songhai sister, it was the neutral one. And this card is so good. I think it's really good in this deck, and the reason for that is, well, we have so many spells in Songhai in general, and nearly all of them will benefit. Like, sometimes when we're playing Spellhai, we're running nearly all the spells instead. There's only a few really bad cards, and most of the time in my experience, it's been draw 2. One of them is actually normally just a card I have in my deck, or a card that's a good spell, and a lot of the time, it's just a card that we can replace as a minion. So, draw a card, and then draw another card that you have to replace sometimes. That's pretty good still, and allows us to really be pretty aggressive with how we use our spells. So I originally was running a slightly different list, but I added in some blood tears and some healing mystics, even another ghost lightning, to make sure I have ways to empty my hand, because I'm still running a Heaven's Eclipse as well, and on turn 4 I want to be able to benefit fully from the card draw. So I like to be able to empty my hand early, and we also have ways to get it back. So we can punish, when we have these card draws, we can punish our opponent by playing really aggressively and then just refueling a hand, which this deck is so good at doing. And this is a really fun card as well. I did try out the other Songhai sister, and it was kind of subpar. It seems alright in theory, but we already have better 4-drops, I think, and it was only really good with Phoenix Fire. If I wanted a combo, it was like turn 6, and then if I'm just developing a play, very rarely. My hand has to be pretty bad to just develop it, so it was a little bit disappointing. Maybe it will find a home in some Songhai lists though. Apart from the rest of the deck, just the one Heaven's Eclipse. Basically, because of Sworn Sister, I felt like I could go down in Heaven's Eclipse, because I find Heaven's Eclipse is a really clunky card. It's not a card that's great, it's just the card that we run because we have to, because we need card draw. This gives us some persuaded card draw, and if you have time to replace and you don't need those replaces, well, that is just straight card draw. That's because Duelist works really well in that you can replace any cards. So definitely effects that add random cards are a lot better than in other card games. 2 Spiral, I really like 2 Spiral as a finisher. I know a lot of people only play 1 Spiral, but I really like 2. It allows me to play aggressively and even plan around drawing into the card if I need to. Apart from that, not too much else. Pretty similar composition of minions I've been running in some other lists. Not the 9 minion package, I'm not sure how that will go. 2 Killing Edge is something I like, because we're going to have more minions, because we have that Reaver Bloodborne spell. I may try this deck out as Kalios, it also has a lot of potential there, but I wouldn't be playing Killing Edge in Kalios. I'd probably replace this for Juxtaposition, so if you want to try that, that's a change I would recommend. Anyway guys, that's enough about the deck. We will see how we go in game. Where's it gone? I don't know why it's gone over there. Alright. But yeah, I think Songhai is probably in a better spot post-patch. Vitruvian was sometimes a tough matchup. Abyssian was a good matchup, I definitely think, especially because we run Ghost Lightnings, but Abyssian's still pretty good. The Bloodborne spell's still really good, and we're really good against it. It kind of stops those games where we somehow don't have an answer to Black Soulless, and then they just kill us, which I guess is potentially a problem. So it should improve the matchup, but I don't know if it's going to bring in bad matchups. It will depend. We can tech pretty heavy to beat Lion Eye if we switch to Kalios and play Juxtapositions as well. Okay. I don't really like Ghost Lightning against Cassiva. It can be situationally good. I don't want 2 Phoenix Fires. I like to be proactive against Cassiva. Well, Ghost Lightning or Phoenix Fire against Cassiva. A lot of Jaxies. Blood Tears. I actually think I'm going to go for this. I don't mind taking damage on my face, and a lot of time this can just be a Phoenix Fire if I need it to be, but it might hit something else. This is actually a really interesting decision here. What to replace? Killing actually a really good turn too, so maybe I will actually keep that. I need to get rid of something though. This hand isn't amazing. Maybe Blood Rage Mask is a bit greedy with this hand. Yeah. Okay. Not a very exciting hand. We have lots of really good draws here. Any minion is really good. Okay, so there's a Jaxi. Okay, he's going to kill it. Okay. So that killing Edge Keep was a little bit punished, but it's fine. There's hardly any good ways for Abyssian to deal with a 2-3 on turn 1. That's basically the only good way. Or like a Tiger. So it's not like we're getting punished. Okay. We'll just clear. Could think about cycling Mana Vortex here, but it's so good in this deck. We're definitely going to want to play spells next turn, so there's no real need to cycle. We don't draw a minion soon. We do have lots of minions in the deck, and worst case we can even go for something like, well, it's not even a worst case, we could potentially go for a Bloodborne spell, Inner Focus, Killing Edge, which is pretty powerful against Abyssian, especially when we're seeing Demonic Lore, and especially if we can get it out of Ephemeral Shroud range. Dialysis here can be pretty annoying. Dialysis doesn't really stop the deck that much. We don't actually do that much damage with minions. Or not from close anyway. I do expect to see a bit more Kasuya now that Vitruvian's gone. I think Vitruvian was a pretty good matchup. Did say it would be a bit annoying. Okay, double Killing Edge is way too greedy here, obviously. So we have 5 potential mana. Well, without doing anything stupid. Yeah. We just got to Bear Seal here and play Bloodborne spell, I think. Maybe we take the mana tile, but I also want to use. I want to hit him in the face as well. Like, I have to do it here and do it. I guess that's better than denying a mana. I think we just gotta deny the mana. Okay, what maybe we do is we just Bear Seal and don't make a dude, and then we can save it to combo, because he's gonna Bloodborne spell anyway. Okay, we're not making a dude here. Our board isn't in a state. Plenty of times it's fine to play our Bloodborne spell into his Bloodborne spell, because he's the one who has to answer. We can play it whenever. We don't have to play it at any given point. He's the one who has to answer it. So we want to have a board, or we stop him from curving out. So if we play it on turns when he's going to 7 mana, he's not going to ping it over Shadow Nova, or maybe he does, and then we get to punish him. Bit of an awkward draw though. This deck has been mulliganing pretty well. Oh, these tips are a bit annoying. So it's really unfortunate that we had to go to this mana tile here, and he has. I was literally just about to say another Dialysis could be really annoying here. So it is annoying being against the wall. You want to avoid this because it means that you don't have a safe spot on its own to play a Heartseeker. Do we want Twin Strike? It could be pretty useful. We could go for something like, kind of like, go here. We miss a proc if we want to keep the Shakri safe, which is actually a real problem. but still be get 2 spell procs. Well, we can just make it a 3/4, right? Because I'm thinking Bloodborne spell. Maybe hit him in the face when he starts smoking a little bit. Yeah, I think we just play it here. Let's hit him in the face. I'm going to be using quite a few resources here, but we are building a nice board, and we are cycling a Mana Vortex, so that's fine. And we have, when I have Twin Strike in hand, it's a nice resource to be able to build up the board. We are kind of banking on him hopefully not being able to answer this. He needs something else plus a Shroud, which is pretty likely if he has a Shroud, but not impossible. Plus he probably wants an answer to this as well. And he's already used Demonic Law. I definitely like this play. The Chakri Avatar and Mana Vortex draw is a little bit weak. We really want high impact cards at this point. We have lots of card draw in the deck. We have, like, Lantern Fox is kind of like a card draw, one Heaven's Eclipse, and then the 3 Sworn Sisters, sorry. I was thinking actually going to 2 Heaven's Eclipse, but then I think I need to kind of lower the mid-range of the deck a little bit more. Maybe cut stuff like Twin Strikes, or lower the number, so we can really empty our hands, because there's kind of 2 ways you can go with Spellhai in most games, is that you'll either have really clunky hands, well, not really clunky hands, really full hands where you're not always getting full value, sometimes you're overdrawing, and then sometimes you draw, and then you have like 2 cards for most of the game, which is also a problem. So you want to have your deck set up so that you can punish having so many cards in hand. Okay, that's not too bad. It's annoying, but we can potentially deal with the Tombstone with Chakri if he doesn't spell it. Okay. Interesting. Maybe we get rid of Chakri here. It doesn't do a lot. Because Mana Vortex will cycle, but this is still only going to be a 2-drop forever. Yeah, let's get rid of it. Not a good draw. Not a good draw at all. We're definitely playing Twin Strike. Are we playing Mana Vortex here? We can Spiral Technique him next turn. Is that ever going to be enough though? Let's just... Yeah, we have to try and kill him over 2 turns. It's way too greedy to even think about that planning. Okay. We're getting to that point where Mana Vortex is just better as a cycle if we don't have a guaranteed spell proc. Very close game still. That Tombstone, hopefully he will rely on the Tombstone. He does have his Bloodborne spell up, but we're still using it. It's way too greedy to wait there. We just need to build up our Chakri and build up our board as much as we can. And he's at 7 mana now, so we've played around Shadow Nova. If he wants the Shadow Nova, it means he's not dealing with our minions. And he's not pinging, so decent spot here. Okay, so no Nova, that's fine. Just give us just time, like, we just need time in this matchup. If he's not running heals, which is really good for us because Emerald Rejuvenator got nerfed. Well, not nerfed, it got nerfed in most decks. So I don't think Kasiva will run it. Okay. So no teleport effects in the deck, unfortunately, which would be very nice. I think we just get rid of Ghost Lightning here. The spell synergy is pretty irrelevant here. This does a very similar job. Okay, so we will just do this. Come clear the tombstone. If we attack him, we go down to 16, he can put us 14, and then 4 from that. There's no way he can kill us. So 14 if he's assuming he attacks back, then 10, Spectral Revenant. No double Void Pulse would kill us, which is pretty unlikely anyway. I think we just smoke here. I don't actually think we want to Mana Vortex here. It opens up a few draws like Blood Rage Mask. Will give a guaranteed lethal. What else? Another Blood Tier. Yeah. Yeah. That's a tough call. Because if we can't kill him next turn, maybe we want an extra card to help survive. Like here, for example. It's a really tough call. I don't know, it's been an interesting game. This 9-10 has been a massive threat though. Making, like, obviously we didn't really play around, like we played around Shadow Nova anyway, but this is obviously good positioning. This doesn't matter. Shadow Nova just loses in the game here. So if he goes Demonic Law, or like, yeah, Demonic Law, and then just hits here, and then like, well, he needs to provoke us still. So we're looking pretty good. Well, maybe not. We could lose if he has Demonic Law. Demonic Law, hit here, play a minion. It's probably not going to be a losing thing, though. It's more likely to extend the game. We will see. He does have good ways to block himself off. Okay. Alright. Okay, well we have probably just as many draws that give us lethal without Mana Vortex, and it's a better... Well, do we need Onyx Bestial here? Probably not, actually. We just want to finish him off, because this will kill the thing anyway. I actually like this more. Okay, so we have a pretty good chance for lethal. Is there any way we can increase the chances? Well, we should just attack first. Or do we run away? No, because if we miss, we just hit one and we should be fine. Okay, so it's like, what, 50-50 chance to win? Alright, we got it. Sometimes lucky. Shakri MVP. He was pretty low on cards that whole game, so... And he used the Demonic Law to kill a Healing Mystic. We didn't get to see our Swan Sister. Hopefully get to see it this game. And it's a pretty fun card as well. It's nice to remember all the Songhai cards. That was another reason that I like Inner Focus in the deck. Because there's actually quite a few good Inner Focus targets. You got Tusk Boars, occasionally, Lantern Foxes, Gorehorns, Kaido Assassins, the 1/5 Deathstrike guy. There's a few, and plus Scarlet Viper. So the minions are normally the worst ones, because we're not really in a minion based deck, and Inner Focus kind of is good with that. Plus that's why we have Killing Edge as well. So, and then the spells are nearly all good apart from Artifact Defiler, but if you get one of these like, you know, pretty bad cards, you just replace it and it's fine. Alright, hopefully we find a game soon. But yeah, I do really think Kalios could have potential with this deck. I honestly just love Reaver, and it's really nice to have constant threats. because it allows you to run a bit more removal as well. Okay, interesting hand. There's my new favourite girl. She's just really good, I think, and really fun. Not much aggro fey around. I think we can potentially keep this all. Playing double 2-drop can be a bit sketchy, but because we have this, I think it's actually pretty fine. So like our curve right now is looking like 2, 2, 3, and then like a 4 plus Bloodborne spell. So I don't think we want Blood Rage Mask. We want to be able to tell whether we should play Chakri first. If we play, otherwise we're forced to play Healing Mystic first, which maybe that's just better. There's definitely more potential with Chakri, so we'll replace this, and it's not really that great a card in the matchup. I think now we just play Healing Mystic first, because if we want to ramp into 3-2, then Chakri is really bad at that, because we have to move him here, and he's also more likely just to get killed. So I don't think Killing Edge would change my decision. It's still way too vulnerable to Chromatic Cold. But interesting hand. This may be a hand where we're greedy enough to keep Killing Edge. Definitely now, I think. But do we want to replace? We don't really need much for Chakri to be good, so we will just do that. Okay, we've got a turn before Bloodborne spell, so we can position however we like. We can let him get this mana tile, that's completely fine. Okay, so we're able to empty our hand a decent bit. Even if he deals with Fox, then we have this, which is pretty nice. Or we have stuff like Killing Edge or Four Winds Magi. Lots of options here, really nice start. And I have been finding, I normally have plenty of minions. I make sure I nearly always try and replace, nearly always try and mulligan 2 unless I have a really good hand. Which is very important when you're not running that many minions. You want to be replacing as often as you can because you need to get to those minions. And when you run less minions, it means that once you have those minions, all your draws are going to be really good most of the time because... Okay, Lightbender, that's not a card I played around very well. I don't think it's that big a problem. What do we get rid of here? Maybe Four Winds Magi. Can I ever get rid of Four Winds Magi? I think Killing Edge is just way too greedy. Yeah, he has 6 cards in hand, it's Vayner. So maybe we just play this, it's the least... It's like kind of the slowest. So we might as well trade this in, because keeping the body around is not what we want to do. So we'll trade these two in, take the least damage, deal with it efficiently. I guess I should have played this first, but there's no card that will trade mind. What are we getting rid of here? Scarlet Vipers 2s. We don't have Inner Focus in hand, and against Vayner it's pretty hard for it to get a turn to live, and we already have targets that do a pretty good job with that. Probably better, because then he can't just block off his back. But a nice hand, lots of fuel here, and that's why I kept this. Sometimes I won't keep this if I think I'm going to have a really slow start and not get to play many minions. Could I have gone here and played around... I could have potentially gone here and played around Avalanche. I've seen more people running that, but I don't think that's a big consideration. This Tusk Ball could be okay. Well, I can go Tusk Ball, Killing Edge, run here. Or can I just start Smorkin? I have a lot of damage. Because that's 6. We can do 10, 2 Phoenix Fires in hand. Kind of like this. Maybe get rid of Land Fox here? We don't need to get rid of Land Fox. So he'll be at 1 health, that's fine. Yeah. Seems good. Could risk Smorkin in here, but I don't think it's worth it. We're in a really nice position here. And we get to hit him in the face a bit. No need to go all in when we're... That's how we could possibly lose, I think. And I haven't played Tusk for a while. It was one of my favourite cards. Probably fair that it got nerfed, but it's good to be playing it again. And obviously we're playing it safe. That was something that people were never that great at, to be honest. They weren't great at playing their Tusk ball safe. So many times people would just let their Tusk ball be in range to die when it didn't need to be. And there's really no reason to do that. Unless you're blocking some really important movement. Really nice that we get to play it here. And if you have to use a chromatic cold on Tusk ball, that's pretty sweet as well. Oh! I was not expecting that. I was not expecting some Tusk ball, some Emerald Geoman action. Okay. Alright. Is it Smoke City time? Probably not. We don't need to. Actually, I could put this in the corner, but I don't really need to at all. Okay, attack. And we're definitely going to Mana Vortex here. Like Phoenix Fire, he's getting low. Land Fox is good for refilling our hand as well. And we're definitely going to be running him out of, you know, cheap removals, which is nice. That's alright. It's not going to be great. I am expecting Fae to be more popular. I've definitely seen it pop up a bit. People are already starting to catch on to it now. Vitruvian and Lilith are nerfed. It's definitely looking to get a bit higher up. Lionel's probably going to be pretty good as well. Like, it's just always very solid. But it's going to be hard for Lionel to ever be the top deck, I think, anymore. Just because the whole Gravekeeper makes it a lot harder. Just a little bit. Yeah. It's the only card, like, the only faction that has a card that just beats it, like, so hard. I'll get rid of Twin Strike. Or do we play this first? Well, is there cards that... We're never going to want to play Twin Strike this game. Okay. Wouldn't mind stopping this from punching me. But I also want to hit general. The problems of a Songhai player. I just want to smoke. Okay, if he can kill me, that's fair on him. We can even play it here, so... Ooh. Alright. That seems pretty good. It would be really nice to get this Land Fox out with his 8 gates, but I don't think we need to. We're in such a nice position here. This card's good, man. This card, like, the worst I've had from this was, like, a Shakri Hokkaido, and that's in, like, 20 games. And, well, actually, I got the Storm Cage once, but I was, like, laughing my ass off, so I'm going to call that a win. Just because that game was hilarious. But it's just so good. Like, you're normally going to get, like, one card that could easily fit in your deck, and then the other one you can just replace, or it can be two really good cards. I think this card is so good. I don't know if it really fits into many other decks, though. I think it's really a Spellhai card. Because there's so much, like, redundancy. Just all spells are good. Most minions are good. Whereas other decks, you know, you can draw spells that don't actually help, because a spell doesn't help you on its own if it's not a good effect, but in Spellhai it normally does. Okay, so that's going to be lethal with you know, any way you want to do it. So many ways. Do we do it with the 8 gates BM? It's not really BM, but it's cool. Alright, let's do 8 gates. Alright, pretty nice game. Alright, so that's been half an hour. I'll probably call that one there. Would be nice to get in top 10 food. It takes. That's what I really don't like about the S rank system. I know they're going to change it, but if you play a few games, if you like to, actually play the game a lot, then you're going to get punished for hard. It takes so much longer to get back up. Whereas if you just get an S rank, you can play like 5 games and be like top 5 pretty easily. So, but I can't complain. Like, they're going to change it. They know it's a problem. So, anyway, guys, I'll get the deck list up just once again. Really, really strong deck. Tinker around with yourself if you want to play this deck. This card is really, really fun and really, really good. And you can look for ways. You can go back to 2 Heaven's Eclipse. You can maybe try 3 if you're crazy and just play a bunch of low mana stuff. Try and empty your hand like that. It's really nice. I really like this because it means I don't really have to rely on Heaven's Eclipse. And Heaven's Eclipse is very slow. And it's nowhere near as proactive either, which is really nice. Because sure, you can, if you are on 5 mana and then you play Heaven's Eclipse when you're on an empty board, like, you're giving your opponent tempo, and the spells you get aren't necessarily going to be proactive. It's pretty hard for spells to be proactive. Whereas this, can kind of give you anything, allows you to play more ball control and more value in control matchups as well. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm very excited for Spellhai. I think it's in a really good spot right now, and I look forward to playing with this deck a lot more. Anyway, I'll see you next time.